evening, everyone, and welcome to Cherries Red Army YouTube channel. Tomorrow night, Bournemouth take on Reading in the Championship, live at the Medeski on Sky Sports. This is the second fixture between the teams in the league this season, and the first fixture, we can safely say, was a game of two halves. Today, we're going to preview this match, and we will look at the JT's press conference. We will also look at the opposition as well, and we will try and predict the team lineups for this game. I'm going to be helped on this show today by two guests, and they'll be coming up soon. But if you want to join in, just let us know what you think throughout the show. Include in the comments, and I'll try and show as many as I can on the show. Please also like and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's get to it. My first guest is a massive AFC Bournemouth fan. He's a back of the net regular and also player ratings host, and that is Tom Jordan. How are you, Tom?
Very well, mate. Been a good day. How are you?
Been very, very busy today for the media team around the club.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all kind of feels like it's come out of nowhere, doesn't it? It always seems to near the end of the window. So, yeah, interesting stuff.
So thank you for joining me tonight. And what we normally do on this show to start with is recap our last match, which was in the FA Cup on Tuesday. A strong squad was picked by JT, and some would say that a much improved performance and probably what we needed leading in to tomorrow's match.
Yeah, I'd say so on the whole. I think obviously Jason, as I could understand, probably we had a bit of time without a game, so he wanted to keep get the legs going and stuff like that. Didn't want it to be too long, and I think really he just thought it's the next game and we need to win. We haven't won for a while, so picked a strong team, and yeah, I think there was a lot of positives in terms of the amount of shots we create, amount of chances we created, and shots we had. That's a positive. But spin that on a negative, we didn't take them. That was frustrating. Positive that we didn't really look under much threat. The negative that when we did for 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, they scored. So there were still things there that we need to work on. But the main thing was positives that we created a lot more and back to winning ways. That's the main thing, mate.
Like you say, we won the match 2-1, and that leads us to a fifth round at Burnley. Very, very minor thoughts on what you think about that?
Oh, what a glamour tide, Burnley away. Oh, I mean, it's probably the only time I thought I'm not that bothered that I can't go. It's an interesting one because I don't think it's a difficult game. We'll be slight underdogs, but, you know, if Burnley are still going to prioritise the Premier League, make a few changes, if we go quite strong, we'll have just as good a team out there as they will, in my opinion. And it's not a totally unwinnable game. And you win that, and suddenly you start looking for Wembley and things like that. So who knows? We've definitely got a chance in it. And
it is the FA Cup, and it would be a first appearance in the quarterfinal if we were to beat them. Before we look at JT's press conference from today, tomorrow, as I said, the first fixture between the teams was a game of two halves. Your recollection on that 4-2 win for us?
Yeah, I remember at the obviously we're on a decent run, and that first half they seemed to go 2-0 up out of nowhere, and I thought, hang on, these lot are a good side. You know, they're obviously up there for a reason, and it's a real challenge for us now. And made a few little tweaks at half time, and they seemed to get a bit nervy, and we just took full advantage. I think I remember Lloyd Kelly going out to that left-hand side, putting the ball in straight away, and Dom scored, and that early goal in the second half just seemed to lift everyone. And then, yeah, we were taking our chances and we were clinical, and it felt like a real big moment because I remember thinking, right, we are going to be really difficult to beat. You know, we've gone 2-0 down here against Team Flying, and we've just come back seemingly with ease. But hasn't been as comfortable as that recently. But it was an enjoyable game, and like you mentioned at the start, a real game of two halves, that's for sure.
So we'll have a look at JT's press conference from today, a really busy day for Jason Tindall. And as I load it on the screen, you can find this on AFC Bournemouth's website, but also a lot of transfer links today. And what did you think about that when you saw it?
Yeah, it was exciting stuff. I mean, obviously, Ben Pearson looking like he's coming from Preston. I mean, Preston love him. You can see that clearly. And that says a lot. And he's had a good career so far. And I just remember the game that obviously we lost to them earlier in the season. He was brilliant in that middle of the park. Him and Johnson, I think it was, ran the game. Seems like the right type of character as well. Seems like a player that will really, you know, real gutsy, bit of bite in their championship experience. So yeah, it'll add to the squad. Whether that means someone's going to depart, I'm not sure. Whether we're a bit concerned about Jefferson Lerma with the kind of potential ban, we still haven't heard much on that. But the fact is, we're going to add a bit more quality, and you can't argue with that. So that's exciting. Obviously, Goslin, they thought might go, but he looks like he's turning it down because he wants to be involved in the fight for us. Typical Gos. So I'm never worried if Goslin's in and around the training ground and in and amongst the squad if we need him, because he's a good character, good bloke to have around. Could always rely on him. And yeah, and obviously some good team news as well. It looks like we've got a firing fit squad, so it's definitely been a positive one today.
And no Graham Jones now on the training ground. Do you think that would affect anything too much?
We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, obviously it'll be interesting to see how much of an influence he did have on kind of systems and tactics and way of playing and things like that. I know Luton have alluded to the fact that we look similar to how they did when he was in charge. But listen, he's got a good CV, and obviously Newcastle want him for a reason. I wish him all the best. But Jason's still got the final say on team selection and way of playing and things like that. But I think it will just be a proof being the pudding. We'll see if there's much change. But haven't really felt any sort of connection to him anyway. I mean, fans haven't been there. He's barely been here 2 minutes. So wish him all the best, and another one to go to Newcastle. So good luck to him.
And as you said about player availability as well, it's probably a bit of a surprise that we Stanislas is maybe in with a chance of getting some minutes tomorrow. Did that surprise you when you heard that?
Yeah, definitely surprised me. Thought he'd be a while longer, but yeah, I mean, I can't see him starting the game, but it's good to see him back and available if we need him. I mean, like I say, just want to get as much of the squad back as we can with cup games, and I think February looks like 2 games every week, so can really do with the squad. So Junior adds quality. Regardless of how he's performing, he's that type of player that can produce a bit of magic. He's got the stats to back it up with goals and assists, and he's going to be crucial till the end of the season. So it's another positive. And with Arnie back and Jack Stacey back now, Mepham back, start to get the bodies back at a really good time.
And Jason was very happy to get some minutes on for Jack Wilshere. Got a goal as well. We'll talk about whether we think Jack Wilshere will play tomorrow, but you must be happy with how he settled in, and obviously he's been training for a few weeks now. Yeah,
I was absolutely delighted for him to get the goal as well. Everyone in the media and stuff looks at his first time here and looks at the kind of stats and things like that and acts like he wasn't great for us. The biggest stat, I think, is that it was our highest ever league finish when we had Jack Wilshere here, and we all know as fans that went, he was pivotal to that, and he looked really good. He looked sharp, and he got good over an hour out there. Like I say, got his goal. Probably could have got another one. Yeah, I think we'll whether he'll start again. Like I say, we'll come to that, but I think we'll manage him like we did before. And we don't know, kind of what his fitness levels are behind the scenes. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of football, but the fact is, Jack's there and he's ready to go, and I think he'll be crucial to us. Could be that missing link because we created more opportunities suddenly with Jack Wilshere on the pitch, didn't we? So it says a lot.
Is it a good thing you've got so many players in that squad, and when they're all fit, is it really a good thing, or does it create a bit of a headache?
It creates a headache, but I think you've got to look at it as a good problem to have. I mean, I was thinking about it earlier and thinking if you kind of named your best 11 or whatever when everyone's fit, and then named your second best 11, they could get in the top 6 as well. I mean, the squad is unbelievable, and I think when you're at this stage of the season, and you need that competition, you need to keep people hungry, and I think it's going to be a good thing. You don't want to. It's going to be getting a balance for Jason. It's going to really test him in terms of, yes, it means we can rotate, keep people fresh, but you don't want to be making 7 changes every game. You want to keep that continuity there as well. So be interested to see how he does that. Because, I think if we got a fit and firing squad, we're going to have good players not even making the bench. So, be interested to see how he manages that. It's going to be how he earns his money for sure.
Fantastic. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to the opposition, and we've got a second guest. He is a Reading fan. He also does his own Reading review show on YouTube. And this is Ben. How are you, Ben?
Hi, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm excited and nervous for tomorrow.
Excellent. And Ben, some of Ben's details on Twitter and YouTube are in the description, so check them out. And if we've got any Reading fans on, you probably follow Ben anyway. He does some watch-alongs, and I believe you do some stuff on the FPL as well, Ben?
Yeah, I've got an FPL channel. I think that's probably now what I'm more well known for than the Reading stuff. But yeah, I do some FPL graduate stuff. I'll probably be streaming myself on Twitch after this show is finished. So yeah, very busy at the moment, but loving it all at the same time.
And I've got to ask you about that first game. Now, fast out the traps. I think 4 minutes you scored, went in 2-0 up. Last 35 minutes sort of must be called a collapse. I mean, what do you think of that game that you lost 4-2 at the Vitality Stadium?
Yeah, you just, the second half, your manager got it spot on to attack our right-hand side from your left back and your left midfielder were fantastic, and targeted Esteves at right back. He's an 18-year-old from Portugal, and he defensively suspect. And we had Aluko down that side as well, who didn't quite support him. So it made it a bit easier for you lot to get at us. And I don't think we're going to be making the same mistakes again. I think we're going to be a lot more solid, and I think we're going to see a very different game tomorrow evening than the one we saw earlier on in the season.
And looking back to your previous match last weekend against Preston, a 0-0, and I believe you did a watch along on your YouTube channel. I mean, how was it? A difficult 0-0 or?
It felt like a loss, to be honest. An 83rd minute penalty from Luka Shaw not converted. For a striker who's got 16 goals already this season, it's something you'd expect him to put away, but he obviously didn't. At the start of the game, you'd probably say, yeah, we'd take a draw away at Preston. They're looking like a pretty decent side this season, up there in the table. But it's games like them, if you're really serious about being in them playoff places, ones you got to win. But we look back at the last 5 games and there's only 1 loss in there. So in terms of league form, you can't complain too much about that on that sort of front.
I mean, that's right. I mean, a lot of the media and a lot of Championship clubs, fans all thought I sort of Reading off as well. I mean, they thought you'd be down the bottom. You're not. You're 5th in the league. Yeah. You're unbeaten in 5. I think you're actually 5th in home and away group tables. So why did everyone get it so wrong?
I even think the Reading fans weren't expecting something like this, to be completely honest with you. I think it's kind of been, as you're saying pre-show, a siege mentality at Reading recently, in terms of the fact that from the hierarchy all the way down to the players, we haven't let adversity get in our way. We haven't let doubters cloud judgment, or we've just let our performances on the pitch do the talking. And Paunovic, as a new manager coming in this season in weird circumstances, he's come in and he's done an absolute job. Many wrote him off at the start as well. Even Reading fans wrote him off at the start before he came in, and he's come in and he's inherited a relatively good squad as well, one that we knew had the potential, and he's just realising that potential and really getting the best out of our players at the moment.
I was going to say, Kirk, it does seem reminiscent, doesn't it, Reading, of when we got promoted that first time. Like, kind of no one people thought Bournemouth might be okay, but no one really predicted us to get promoted, and it was that no fear. If you like, you got them teams up there ourselves at the moment, Watford, Swansea, they're all expected to be up there. And that almost sometimes has a burden. And I feel like Reading are playing with that no fear, because no one expects it anyway. And now it's like they can go out there and just express themselves. And what really surprised me in that last game against Preston, where they were 2 teams that I thought, it's going to be I actually said beforehand, I said, this could be a goal fest, Preston Reading. And it was obviously 0-0. But you and Preston, 2 teams that were really kind of exciting to watch when you played us. So it's definitely, it looks reminiscent to when we went up. So that's a good sign.
And I'll ask this question to both of you, actually. When you actually look at some of the stats for Reading this season, they'd either win or they lose at home. You haven't drawn a game at home yet. I mean, has that changed your thinking on how tomorrow might play out? I'll go to you first, Ben.
Yeah, no draws at home this season. And it's either we turn up and play well and get the win relatively comfortably and really dominate a team, or we just don't turn up to the race. It's as simple as that. The only loss that I can think of that potentially is one that we could have drawn or even won was surprisingly a 3-0 loss at home to Stoke. I mean, for the majority of the game, we were pretty good all over the park, as 3 mistakes that lost it for us. So it's strange that we haven't been getting draws at home. But you know what? If we get more wins than losses, then I guess that's a good sign.
I mean, I'll grab your score later on, Tom, but does that change your thinking? I didn't know if you knew that they either win or lose.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. And we've probably drawn too many games. So, yeah, I mean, we've just done it now, haven't we? It's going to be a draw. But no, it's it's an interesting stat. Like I say, we've probably drawn too many games. So, yeah, if anyone's going to draw, that'll probably be us. But, yeah, interesting. It does seem, a few of the results seems weird. Like you mentioned the Stoke one there, you got battered and then you go and batter someone. It seems a bit odd. But, I don't think it changes my view too much. I mean, I'm going to try and stay optimistic anyway. I think we got a good record there, haven't we? Got a great record there. It'll be fine.
So where you've had success this season, Ben, 37 goals, so one behind us, third highest scorers in the league. With that, like you said, Lucas João, I think he's got 14 in the league. I think he's got five assists as well. I think you've got someone like Elise as well, who's got like 5 goals and 4 assists or something like that. And you've had a high conversion rate. So has that helped you a lot, obviously?
Yeah, the front three of João, Elise, and Mate, the highest scoring trio out of anyone in the Championship at this moment in time. And considering that, I mean, 2 out of the 3 players have been injured pretty much for nearly half our games this season, because just goes to show how crucial they are to us. And when we're in that patch of rough form, it was those players that were out injured that we really missed. So looking on the back of that, they're really crucial to us. And we've got a lot of players coming back for this weekend, which is really nice to hear. Andy Yeardom, our first choice right back, is back in contention. Yaku Mate is back in contention, and Elise is also back in contention after a minor shoulder injury. So the players are coming back in at just the right time for this really difficult fixture.
And one player that I've actually looked at today and thought that he's probably underachieved this season, but probably for good reasons. You're probably going to tell me he's been injured, but John Swift, only 1 assist, only 7 appearances. Yeah,
he's been injured for most of that. He's only come back in the last sort of 2 or 3 fixtures, and really it epitomises him last game. A fantastic free kick against Coventry it was, and an assist as well to back that up, which, I mean, it was probably goal and assist of the season. You'll see at the end of the month whether he gets the goal and assist of the month. I imagine he will, but he really is a top quality player, and I think he will start against Bournemouth this weekend. I think he will come back and play really well, because he's been a talisman for us over the past few seasons.
Looks like we've had a Reading fan on as well. So before I let you go, Ben, someone's asked if you think Elise will stay, as it looks like Liverpool are after him.
It's a host of clubs. I think every single Premier League team has been linked to Elise at this point. Over January, he won't go at all. 2 days left. Any advances, our owners have been known to reject advances. We had Swift in the summer reject £8 to £10 million bids for him from Leeds United and Sheffield United. So I don't see him going in January. But if we don't go up this season, I think he's too good for us. He's too good for this league, and I think he'll flourish in the Premier League.
Right, before I let you go, Ben, what's the score going to be? How's it going to play out?
As a Reading fan, I've got to remain optimistic, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. I think you've got enough going forwards to get a goal against us, but I've got to be optimistic that Lucas João, John Swift can have a bit of a masterclass.
Brilliant. We'll enjoy the game. We obviously hope you don't win, but I'm sure we'll catch up after the game, and I'd love to hear what you think. All right, Ben, it's been great. Just come on. As I said, Ben's details are in the description if you want to follow any of the stuff that Ben does. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Yeah, I mean, after hearing that, Tom, does it change your mind on anything beforehand?
No, I don't think so. It sounds like both of us are in a similar boat in terms of getting a few players back. So yeah, we're still. I know they've got a decent squad, but I know we've got a better one. So yeah, I'm still confident, but we've got to turn up, as we'll say. It's all about what you do on the day. But I'm a bit. I remember in the first game, happy that Mate wasn't available. I've always liked him when I've seen him. And obviously, it sounds like he's back, so he'll be a threat. He'll be a threat for him. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and when I say we, I'm going to say you're going to try and predict what JT's going to do. I know you'd like to give you what you would do, but what JT's going to do tomorrow. So we'll bring up the lineup now. Off screen, I asked for your formation, and you've gone for a 3-4-3. I think he will do. Okay,
absolutely.
Before everyone gets me, I wouldn't go with a 3.
Okay, so 3-4-3. You just think JT will go with a back 3, but maybe with a positive 3 up top. Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, I just had that. I just think with the players, but I think we'll come on to different reasons for the players and why I think he'll stick with it. You've kindly put Begovic in goal for me. Which I was good at. I think he'll just edge it. I think Begovic will get the starts. That's a good shout. I actually think in the right centre-back role, I think Mepham's going to play.
Mepham, okay.
Yeah, he said that he's back. He didn't involve him in the cup game. I just got a feeling because he wanted him fresh and ready for this one.
And as we go through this, for those that are watching, let us know what you think. If you agree, disagree. And remember, Tom is trying to attempt to choose what he thinks JT will pick. So, but do let us know your thoughts. So, Meckham, who plays in the centre? Is it our leader?
Yeah, Steve Cook in the centre as usual. Definitely, no questions about that. And then I think he's going to go Lloyd Kelly as the left centre back.
What's your thinking on Kelly? So in the last few weeks,
he's one that's I'd probably say flat to deceive for me personally. I think I feel for him because I think it was more kind of after lockdown when we played in the Premier League and he kind of come in a little bit and stuff like that when Ake was out. We thought we have got a player here. He's going to be unbelievable. And I just don't think he's hit them heights. I do feel for him because he's moved his position around a lot. But I'm not convinced that he's our best left back or our best centre back. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I wouldn't have him in a centre back pairing. If I would go for a four, and he wouldn't make the pairing for me. I'd maybe edge him as the left back at the moment, but I'm not convinced on him yet. I don't think he's been consistent for us. Okay,
so as we move into the midfield, this is going to be really interesting. I don't actually know what you're going to pick, Tom, as you know. So you've got to get Jack Wilshere in there somewhere. But who is centre midfield for you?
I wish I was. Centre midfield, I think he's going to go Lewis Cook and Jefferson Lerma. That's what I think he'll do.
And I think they're going to have a big game. They're going to have a strong game tomorrow. I think Lerma. I want to see Lerma just be a little bit more progressive, like he was at the start of the season.
I think he's dropped his levels a little bit of late. So been good to see him back to his best, definitely.
And who's going to play either side of Lewis Cook and Lerma on the wide areas?
Everyone, I love this. Right side is Jack Stacey. Jack Stacey will play right wing back. And everyone will be happy to hear that I feel I wouldn't do this. I think Jason will play Adam Smith at left wing back.
It's so hard to disagree with that because, we're trying to predict what JT will do. And
he plays it, in my opinion, he plays him against Crawley if he's not playing him. He would have definitely, if he thought I'm not going to play Smith against Reading, he would have played him against Crawley, in my opinion.
It's such a difficult one because I've got absolutely nothing against Smudge, but I just don't like him. I just don't like him on the left.
No, and I feel for him because he's not playing in his best. The fact is, Jack Stacey's done really well, so he's on the current form. He's got the edge on the right side, and that's meaning Smithy's had to go out there. But yeah, I do feel for him. But I think he'll play. I think he'll play left wing back. That's what I think.
So your front three, who's going to attempt to win us the game tomorrow?
I think on the right-hand side, he's going to play David Brooks. Not sure if I would or not, but I think he will play David Brooks.
And why are you talking about David Brooks? He looked a little bit more himself the other night. What I did see, and I've had discussions with other fans, is he looks to be getting a little bit frustrated when things aren't coming off for him. And I don't know if he's snapping at some shots the other night. And what's your thinking on that?
It's just a thought of mine. Is I feel like he's got a burden on him. He's playing like he knows that he's our main man, and he's the one that's got to make things happen. So when it doesn't start well, or we go a goal down or whatever, I feel like he almost thinks, right, I've got to do something here, and he's making the wrong decisions all the time rather than just being free and playing his own football. Do you know what I mean? I do feel like a bit of that, and he's just making the wrong decisions, which is not boxy. But listen, we know the quality he's got, and I'm still happy with whether I would have started him or not. Not 100% sure, but I'm happy if he does because the quality he does possess.
And Arnie came back in for Crawley and he was looking like himself again, and we were finding him in areas where he can hurt teams. Is he going to be starting again tomorrow night?
Yeah, I believe he's going to go Arnie. I think he just offers that bit of magic, and like I say, when going into them kind of front positions, I feel that Junior's literally just back, so that's why I don't think he will. I'd love him to, but I don't feel he's going to play Jack Wilshere. I feel that he's going to really try and manage them minutes. And like I say, in that system, I don't think he's going to play him. I think he will come into the team. But that's why. And I don't think, as much as Josh King played well the other night, he's clearly going to play Dom Solanke. So you can whack him in. But I just don't. And I don't think people could say Josh could play off one of the wide positions potentially. But he's never used him there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he will. As I say, that's not the team I'd go with. I think that's what Jason will go with. And I still think with that team we'll have enough.
Yeah, and we've got to talk about, obviously, we scored a lot of goals, you know that, and we have good debates about this, Tom. 38 goals, I think it is this season, but only 4 in 6, and I think our goal ratio per game's gone from like 1.8 per game to like 0.52. Created 26 chances, I think it was the other night. A lot better, but you've got to think that maybe we'll find ourselves again and we will start scoring a lot of goals.
You'd like to think so. Like I say, the overall stats the whole season so far show that we score goals. That's what we're about. We can score goals. But like I say, it's been a dip in form and they've dried up. And like you say, the stats prove that in the last few games. Like I said at the start, the main positive for me in the Crawley game was that we created a lot. As long as we're creating chances, I think the goals will come. And I think that team's got goals in them. I mean, Arnie Brooks Solanke has got goals in them. And the fact is, whatever team he puts out, we're going to have players to change it if we need to. And that's going to be really key for us. But I think the goals will come. I'm not too concerned about that. It's for me, I've said it before, Kirk, it's the tempo. That's what's really, really concerning me. We talk about systems and things like that. And I personally wouldn't go with 3 centre-halves because I think we've got enough up the higher end of the pitch. We don't need to. But if you're going to play a 3 at the back, all right, that's fine. But let's move it quicker. Let's get it up quicker. Let's not just play. There's no point of teams. Teams have come to us, sat back, and just gone, go on then. Knock it between your 3 centre-halves. It's not hurting us. Do you know what I mean? So that's what's frustrating me is we need to up the tempo, be braver, and we need to go out there and think we've got better players here. Let's go out there, take the game to them, be brave. And I almost feel like we're going through the motions, thinking we'll have too much in the latter stages of the game, and in a weird way, it's kind of been good that hasn't been the case because that can be proof that that's not correct. So we need to be braver. So that's what I hope we do anyway.
I agree with you. I mean, we've had a lot of possession. We win pretty much every match on possession. It's okay having the football. It's what you do with it. And I thought the other night we were trying to go back to front a lot quicker, and we were trying to take players out of the game. And players like Jack Wilshere, I know he's not in that lineup, but when you've got players like that with one pass, he can take 3 centre midfielders or 2 centre midfielders out of the game. And if we can get Danjuma in areas where he can be on the half turn, we're going to hurt teams, and we did that at the start of the season. Just a final point then on that lineup that I bring here from Steve Hensman. Too many defenders. That would be 5. Now, I know this has come up when we played at home, but is that slightly different because we're away against a team that do also score a lot of goals?
Yeah, I think that'll probably edge them into it. I think, it is a difficult one. Like I say, it's not my team. It's just what I think he'll do. I'm not sure. I think he's got a real problem on that left side at the moment. Where I don't think he trusts Rico. I don't think Kelly's not a wing back as much as he's played full back. So he's moving Smithy out there. It is a really difficult one. I think he's obviously played Stanislas as wing back, which is a lot more of an attacking intent from a wing back. Because Stanislas has literally only just come back, I don't see it. So, like I say, I disagree. I would like to see an extra body in midfield personally. The only thing with that system is it does allow Brooksy to float into kind of a 10 role and Danjuma to go and get closer to Solanke and almost make it a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
It does give you that. Quickly, I would just, without going into too much detail of individual players, I personally would quite like with the players we've got to see almost a 4-4-2 diamond, because I don't think with Stanislas obviously only just coming back, we haven't got an array of wingers. Because Brooksy for me is not a winger. He's kind of more of an inside kind of forward. So Danjuma is the only natural winger that we've got available. I would quite like to see almost Lewis Cook sitting deep, Lerma and Billing harassing and Wilshere up the top end, and then getting a Josh King alongside Solanke. I'd quite like to see that. But at the moment, I just feel like he's going to do that. We don't know. He could. I think if there was anything I would change in there, it would potentially be him bringing in Wilshere and not playing Brooks and kind of playing Danjuma up with Solanke. Yeah. But I definitely think he's going to play 3 centre-halves.
So let us know if you agree with Tom, what he thinks JT will pick tomorrow. And as we're just going to come to this about looking at what the score prediction might be, let us know what you think the score prediction will be, and we'll drop that off. And we've got a good record at the Medeski. I think we haven't lost to Reading in the last 8 games. I think it's been like 19 years, Tom, since we've last lost to them. But if we revert back to that championship winning season where we 2014-15, I was there. I know you were there as well. That 1-0 win. Can you remember that?
Yeah, I remember us scoring very early. I think Sermon at the post and Callum Wilson prodded it in. It was a really early goal. And then I just felt like it was, even though we were destroying teams that season, but that game, it just felt like my head was in my hands for 90 minutes because we're just clearing balls. Boris made some great saves. I think Kenwyne Jones come on as a centre half late, but it felt like a moment, didn't it? It really felt like this was one we didn't play well. And you always have that kind of feeling of, that's a sign of champions, that is. And I remember afterwards the kind of players coming over, and you could tell from the players they were pumped and they knew that was a moment. And that was, I think everyone talks about it, don't they? That was a game that really, for me anyway, I don't know about you, but it made me feel like we're going to do this.
Yeah, the Ipswich one for me, when Kenwyne came on and he got the header, and then obviously that Reading one we scored very early, and I just remember us clinging on just for dear life. And I got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just thought, do you know what? We might do this. That was the game, I think. I mean, I know you can look back to Brighton as well. We had a big win at Brighton, and I
think that was over a couple of days, wasn't it? Brighton was on the week, and that was like a key 2 games, and we got the 6 points. Yeah,
but I definitely remember that Reading one as being like I was starting to think that we were going to do it. So yeah, good memories. Right, how's it going to play out tomorrow? What's the score going to be? They don't draw at home.
They don't draw at home, and they're not going to draw because they're going to get beat. We've got to stay confident. It'd be weird if I come on and was negative, wouldn't it? I'm going to go the reverse of what Ben said. I think it'll be 2-1 to us. I think they're going to score first. I think we're going to start the game quite well, and then they're going to nick a goal, and we're going to, here we go. And then we're going to change the system, right, which everyone will love, and we'll go to a 4, and then we'll come back, and everyone will go, went to the 4. But no, I think we're going to win it 2-1. I'm going to go with Dom Solanke, obviously, goal machine, as you know. Yeah. He'll score. And then I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm going to go a bit outside the box. I'm going to go for a Steve Cook header from a corner.
Hasn't scored yet.
I know, and I can't believe it.
Hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, he always gets a few goals. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it might be the time. He's going to cut from a set piece and get a header in. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm still confident we'll get the result. It feels like, I think Reading would say the same. It feels like a game you just don't want to lose. Both teams want to win it, but just don't lose it. Do you know what I mean? As much as I wouldn't take a draw, don't want to be losing this game.
I hope it's not one of those games where someone makes a mistake in the last minute or something like that. So let's look at some other scores. Daniel's gone for 0-0 or 2-1, so he can't make his mind up. Maybe hope before 8 o'clock tomorrow, maybe choose one, Daniel, and see how you get on. Morgan's gone for 4-0, Solanke hat-trick. That he'd be getting very close to 20 if he did that, Morgan. Chris Hubble's gone for 2-1. And I think we got some 1-0s in there as well. Sammy's gone for 3-1. And we've also got EFL Daily 2-1 Reading. Okay, I'm happy to put that in there, but we want Bournemouth to win, obviously. It's been great to have you on, Tom.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, mate. And good luck with it all. Really, really enjoying what you're doing on there. It's been some good shows.
Yeah, no, brilliant. And I'll catch up with you soon. Probably see you tomorrow night on Back of the Net anyway.
Definitely. If scores a hat-trick, like Morgan said, then I'll be talking to you.
Enjoy the game. Cheers.
You, mate. Yeah, appreciate it, mate.
Brilliant. We've also got some more scores coming in. Heather, 3-1. Enjoy the game. So, yeah, a big game tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. I think I'm going to go for a 2-1. I think we'll go behind, but I think we'll come back and score 2 goals. Need to find that winning formula again in the Championship. I think it's. I'll even take an ugly win just to get over the line and get 3 points on the board, and we can start catching up with the top pack. So thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for all the comments. Remember, hit like and subscribe as well. We've had quite a few subscribers over the last couple of days. Tell everyone you know we're getting very close to 100. Once we get to 100, we can customize this channel as well. If you want to sponsor us so we can make the YouTube channel even better, you can. And you can head over on the link, and the details are also in the YouTube channel. Right, 24 hours away, then we kick off, and we'll see you in the next video. Up the cherries.